Your body contains about 6 feet of DNA in every single cell. Now imagine all of it. Every twisted strand, every genetic instruction just blinks out of existence. Gone. You'd lose roughly half a pound instantly. But here's the terrifying part. You probably wouldn't notice. Not right away. The first few hours would feel almost normal. Maybe a weird sensation like your whole body shivered from the inside. Maybe nothing at all. You'd check your phone, grab a snack, completely unaware that every cell in your body just lost its instruction manual. Because here's what nobody tells you about catastrophic biological damage. Your body doesn't always scream in pain immediately. Sometimes it whispers that everything's fine while the countdown has already started. We've never seen someone lose all their DNA at once, but we have seen what happens when DNA stops working. And the closest thing we have to your scenario, it comes from something that looks completely harmless. There's a mushroom in North America, pure white, small. You'd walk right past it in the woods. It's called the destroying angel. And if you eat just one bite, you've started a biological timer that almost nothing can stop. Here's what happens. You eat the mushroom, you feel fine for 12 hours, then the vomiting starts. Severe cramping. Your body tries to purge what's already spreading through your system. Then, weirdly, you start feeling better. Your appetite returns. The pain fades. Doctors call this the walking ghost phase. You're walking around, talking, feeling like you're recovering, but at the cellular level, the damage is already irreversible. The toxin blocks an enzyme that reads DNA instructions. Without those instructions, your cells can't maintain themselves. They start dying in waves. Your liver tries to filter the toxin out. Your kidneys work overtime, but they're the first organs to accumulate fatal levels of damage. Most people who eat Destroying Angel don't survive, even with a liver transplant and intensive care. The horror isn't the pain, it's the gap between feeling okay and being beyond saving. And losing all your DNA, that's the same gap, just compressed into hours instead of days. We see this pattern in cancer treatment too. Chemotherapy drugs like doxorubicin work by deliberately damaging DNA in rapidly dividing cells. Cancer cells divide constantly, so they get hit hardest. But other cells that divide frequently, your hair follicles, your gut lining, your bone marrow, they take collateral damage. That's why chemo causes hair loss. That's why patients feel nauseous and vulnerable to every infection. Their body is experiencing controlled DNA damage. Now imagine that happening everywhere, all at once. No DNA means no new proteins. No new proteins means no new white blood cells. And without white blood cells, your immune system doesn't just weaken, it vanishes. Bacteria that normally live harmlessly on your skin suddenly become invaders with no resistance. Your gut microbiome, which usually helps you digest food, starts treating your intestines like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Radiation poisoning gives us the clearest picture of total body DNA damage. When someone's exposed to lethal levels of gamma radiation, the walking ghost phase appears again. They might feel okay for hours, even a day. Then the immune collapse hits like a biological avalanche. In Hiroshima, some survivors appeared fine initially, then deteriorated rapidly as their cells lost the ability to regenerate. The body kept running on what it had built before, but couldn't replace anything. Like a city where all the factories shut down overnight. So here's your timeline without DNA. First few hours, you'd feel mostly normal, maybe dizzy, maybe nauseous. Around hour 6 to 12, severe abdominal pain would start. Your gut lining, which replaces itself every few days, would start disintegrating. By 24 hours, you'd be fighting systemic infections your body can't defend against. Fever, organ failure cascading from your most metabolically active tissues outward. Death would likely come from septic shock or multi-organ failure within 48 hours, maybe 72 if you were incredibly healthy to begin with. The strangest part? In those final hours, you'd probably go through another walking ghost moment. Brief windows where you'd feel almost okay. Your body running on momentum it no longer has the blueprint to maintain. But here's your silver lining. If we ever end up in some dystopian future where governments track everyone through genetic databases and DNA surveillance becomes the ultimate form of control, you'd be the one person who's completely invisible to the system. The ghost nobody could trace. Your DNA isn't just information. It's the live update feed that keeps every cell in sync. Turn it off, and you're running on borrowed time from the moment it disappears.